Well, I've just had a works meeting and I asked the electrician and the carpenter and the plasterer if they knew anyone who could do this sort of repair work. And they gave me a telephone number. I phoned this guy up and I told him the problem and he said, yeah, he said, I can do that. And then he mentioned money. I said, no, I'm not paying you to do it. And he said, well, I'm not a Freemason. Oh, that was a rotten joke, wasn't it? Anyway, looks like the gardener and the pastry cook are going to be doing this job. It's not actually, this stone is actually very, very soft and quite easy to work. And as you can see, I've already made a certain amount of progress. I'll get that cut out, dressed up, squared up, and then we'll find a bit of stone to go in there. Well, having got that how I want it, the next job is of course getting that how I want it. I'm going to be cutting it using that saw there because this is soft limestone. Yes, it will wreck that saw slowly. That saw will last quite long enough to do the job I want it to do. You can buy saws specifically for cutting stone. The local brico-marché doesn't actually have any of them. Travelling to where I can just buy one straight off the shelf, well, actually the cost of diesel, it's cheaper to just buy one of these. And that will do the job quite nicely. He said, as long as I don't run into any fossils in this stone, which is always a possibility. Yeah, it's not unlike cutting a loaf of bread, really. This stone is actually damp, which tends to clog the teeth on the saws a bit quicker than a nice dry one. And you always run the risk of bits splitting out. Now that can't be helped, but fortunately there were no fossils in this piece, so that went through quite nicely. Pleased with that. Now we measure it up and take the other cut. Well, you know, with jobs like this, it all goes swimmingly until it doesn't. You hear the difference in the noise of the teeth of the saw, and what we've hit there is a little fossil. What I'm going to do is try and extract it rather than just go through it. I could just do that bit with a grinder, but I'll try and get the fossil out and see what it is. Well, I fouled in that enterprise. What seemed to come out looks very much like an oyster. Not an oyster, sorry, a mussel, something like that. But in this material you do get quite a lot of interesting fossils. They will wreck your saw. And just to keep the tension going, I'm going to end this particular session here. It's time for me to cook dinner. I also want to very quickly put the lawnmower around the golf course. So we'll come back to this later.